What's up, people? I'm back. It's your boy Tom, aka Tom Rock Entertainment. That was a really weird, awkward intro, but anyway, before we talk about Eagles and Texans week 9, I think if all of you have watched the World Series, unfortunately the Phillies did lose. Houston won their second title. It sucks, but it was a real. Even though we lost and it hurts and it sucks, it's still great that we actually made it there because I I definitely didn't think we were gonna make it. A lot of people didn't think we were gonna make it. We just got hot at the right time. It's one of those. It was one of those things where it was a lot like the 2010 Flyers in a lot of ways. Flyers fired. I believe they fired their coach midway through the season. They unexpectedly made the playoffs. They and then they came back from 3-0 to beat Boston. I believe it was the second round. In the third round, they won the title matchup, and then we played the Blackhawks, who were just the Chicago Blackhawks with Patrick Kane in his prime, were just a much better hockey team than we are. And the same thing that happened. We just ran into the better team. I hate to say that, but the Houston Astros are just a better team. Well, not now since the offseason, but we will go over baseball free agency probably later because I believe it's starting now, and I believe some players can sign. I don't know who you can yet, but I will find that out. We will find out who signs where. But as for now, I don't want to say congrats to Houston because there's still a bunch of cheating assholes. But for the first one, but like I said, we had a great run. We just need to add more. We just need one elite starting pitcher like Justin Verlander. He's gonna be a free agent, or Jake DeGrom. One of those two guys. If we sign them, and then we can make some cap room for some relievers and midway guys, and just get like another bat or two, and then I think we'll be a much better team than we were this year. Then we'll actually make the playoffs, and hopefully the same thing again, make the World Series. But anyway, congrats on a great season, Phillies. But now we go over to football. Eagles beat the Texans handily. I mean, are we really surprised by that? I mean, yeah, we were tied at halftime, but we didn't. Honestly, I didn't care about the game. I didn't care about the Eagles game that much since the game 5 was on. That game 5 that we should have won. But hey, like I said, Houston was just the better team. If we won game 5, we probably would have won. We probably could have honestly game 6. They won game 6 and then tied, and then we probably had a game 7. We probably would have won game 7, but we'll see. But it is what it is. Hurts played great. Gosh played great. We ran the football on them. Unfortunately, Houston ran the football on us. Jordan Davis being out hurts our team a little bit, but he's going to be out for another few weeks. Hopefully, he'll be back by the time we play the Titans, but that's neither here or there. Chargers beat Atlanta in a pretty close game. Falcons. I saw the highlights. Falcons had a fumble recovery. He was about to run it back to the house, but then the ball carrier fumbled the football, and the Chargers O-lineman recovered it. So, Falcons shot themselves in the foot. Chargers won the game in overtime. Not overtime. Before it was overtime. With the guy we used before. With the guy we used, Dick the kicker, when Jake Elliott got hurt. So that's good for him. He got 2 game-winning field goals in the same year, which I don't know if that's probably never happened before. A free agent kicker just gets 2 game-winning kicks. And the next game, I'm surprised how high the score was, 35-32. I mean, I expect the Dolphins to score 35 points, but I didn't expect the Bears to. Looks like the Bears' offense is finally starting to click, and they're actually using Justin Fields in the correct way. Having him run for some plays, having him throw when he can. And Justin Fields looks really good right now. As of right now, I'd say he's probably the best quarterback in the 2021 quarterback class. With Trevor Lawrence, I wouldn't say a close second, but a definite second. And we'll talk about Zach Wilson later. Who else? Zach Wilson. Trey Lance is hurt. Trey Lance got hurt. And then Mac Jones is just, Mac Jones is just Mac Jones. Bengals bounce back, beat the Panthers. That's no one's surprised by that at all. Joe Mixon had a monster game. He had I think 4 touchdowns in the first half. Yeah, so there's not much to say about that. Lions shocked the world and beat Green Bay in a really crappy game. And Aaron Rodgers is not playing well at all. He should retire after the season, but he's getting paid $60 million next year and fully guaranteed money. There's no way he's gonna fucking retire from that. He'd walk away from $60 million. You're crazy. You're crazy if you do. I'm sure he can make that money out. He can make that money somewhere else and whatever he decides to do after football. But yeah, it's not looking good in Green Bay right now. The receiver supposedly hate Aaron Rodgers, and he did it to himself. He wasn't there in the offseason when he wasn't there training camp, OTAs, all that shit. He wasn't there for them in the beginning. So we saw the struggle you could see the struggles coming from a mile away. So no shock there, but good for Detroit for winning. And good for the Jags to beat the Raiders, man. I mean, the Raiders are not a good team. They were up 17-0. And then they let the Jags come back. So good for Trevor Lawrence. Good for Doug Peterson and the Jags. They came back and won. Josh McDaniels' ass is probably going to get fired after this year. If I were Mark Davis, I'd fire his ass right after the season. At least wait. Unlike the next team, the Colts, they fired Frank Reich right after this game, losing 26-3 to New England, having -2 yards in the first quarter, which is absolutely asinine. And more importantly, they hired Jeff Saturday as a head coach, which is the interim coach, which is fucking nuts. And my favorite part of this whole thing is that it's not that it's unusual, and I don't know if it's a bad hire. Jeff Saturday seems like a good guy. I like him when he was on ESPN. I like watching him whenever I did tune into ESPN or NFL Live or whatever shows he was on. And his press conference, he seemed like he was very passionate. He seemed like he's like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be a good head coach, but God damn it, I'm going to give it my all. I'm going to give it my best. I'm going to give him 100%. And he seems to be like a no bullshitter kind of guy. And my favorite part of this whole thing is people are freaking the fuck out because, oh, he doesn't have any qualifications to be a head coach, and yet there are black and people of color in the NFL have been working as coaches for years. It's the middle of the season. That's the only response you need to get these people. It's the middle of the season. There's no way somebody let's say Byron Leftwich, there's no way he's going to leave Tampa Bay in the middle of the year to be an interim coach for the Colts. Or Deuce Staley, he's with the Lions. There's no way they're going to leave their guaranteed jobs in the middle of the year to basically be an intern coach for the next 8 weeks or so, and more than likely not keep the job because they're probably going to go full-on head coach searching probably for everybody in the offseason. And honestly, the job does not look good. The Colts' job does not look good. Right now, they have a bad offensive line, little to no weapons. There's guard, tackle, and linebacker, their highest paid players, even though they are the best players. Jonathan Taylor's not doing anything. You have an old quarterback in Matt Ryan. You have a backup in Nick Foles. You have a rookie, either a rookie or a second-year pro who's barely seen any playing time in Sam Ehlinger. So yeah, it seems like the Colts do not have a plan. I am surprised that Chris Ballard is still having his job. Still has his job as of right now. If I were Ursay, I'd probably fire his ass too. I'd just go a clean house, do the whole new GM, new coach, and we'll see how it happens from there. But we'll see what happens for the rest of the year. We'll see if Jeff Saturday can motivate the guys and kick ass. This next game, Jets upset the Bills. I think it's weird to see this now, but the Jets are for real. We haven't been able to say that phrase since the Jets haven't been good at all since I was in high school. And Rex Ryan's early years, when they made the AFC Championship game back-to-back years, losing the Colts and then losing the Steelers. But yeah, this This Jets team is for real. And Sauce Gardner, dude. Oh my god. I didn't really like. I knew he was a good cornerback in college, but I looked up his stats. He's killing it in the NFL right now. I think he only allowed like literally only like a handful of catches. If I read that stat correctly, I think it was like 5 catches for X amount of yards when he was covering. Like this dude's gonna be the next. This dude's the next great cornerback in LA. He's the next Darrelle Revis. He's the next Jalen Ramsey. And then the other guy, the other side, who was it? DJ Reader, I believe. I forget who the other corner is for the Jets, but they're killing it. They're both great. Holy shit! And Zach Wilson he's just taking care of the ball. So that's all you need him to do. You just need Zach Wilson to take care of the football. It sucks that these teams would be so much better. Breece Hall didn't get hurt, and I forget. I don't remember if he was a guard or a tackle, but Vera Tucker, the kid from USC, he got hurt too. So that sucks for them. But and the Bills, luckily, Josh Allen hurt his elbow, but luckily it doesn't seem to be a very serious injury. It only seems to be a sprain, not a full-on tear. Because apparently that's the same injury that baseball players get when yeah, hold on, I got a stupid text. Let's delete this thing. Fuck out of here. Yeah, spam text. So it's the same injury that baseball pitchers get, and they need Tommy John to recover for a year. So I'm hoping that this doesn't bite the Bills in the ass, and hopefully Josh Allen is okay for the rest of the year, because I would like to see the Bills be good and make the Super Bowl. So that's something we have to keep our eye on. We got to keep our eyes on Josh Allen, the Bills. Vikings go on the road, beat the Commanders. Kirk Cousins won, and he had his little Kirko. He's got so many nicknames like Little Kirko. Was it Kirko Bangs? I think. I forget what his nicknames were, but they're so fucking funny, dude. He had so many chains on. The next thing's a fucking grill, dude. If Kirk Cousins gets a fucking grill, and he looks yoked too. Like he's surprisingly fucking yoked. It's like shocking how yoked he is as a quarterback. I mean, because Tom Brady does not look yoked. Like Tom Brady takes care of his body, but he doesn't look yoked. Kirk Cousins, that dude's yoked. I think it's pretty crazy how players take care of their bodies. But yeah, anyway, so good for them. They're going to be against the Bills next week, so we'll see how. That's going to be a really good game. That's probably game of the week right there. Seahawks beat the Cardinals, not surprising. They're 6-3. They're playing very well under Pete Carroll. Geno Smith is having an MVP type year, which is pretty crazy to say. 9 years in the league. 9 years in the league of not being really a high draft pick, not really being that good of a quarterback, or not really getting your fair shot in the NFL, but good for him for learning the system and kicking ass as of right now. And Kyler Murray's just struggling. I don't think it's all Kyler's fault, but they got to get rid of... Cliff Kingsbury needs to be fired this year. It's just not working. The Bucks finally got a win. I said the Bucks would win at home. It was a close game. It was pretty crazy. Tom Brady got the Bucks heads out of their ass and drove down the field with 40 seconds left with the game-winning touchdown. It was good to see Tom Brady do that again. He's going to be in Germany to do that. That's going to be a pretty fun game. And Chiefs barely beat the Titans. And the Titans were ahead. I think they were ahead at halftime. They were. They were ahead. I think they were ahead, 17 to, what was it? 17 to 9, I believe? And it's crazy. The Titans did not score. Did not even get a first down in the second half, and they took it to overtime. So that means the Titans are still a really good football team. That means they're probably going to dominate the AFC South. They should dominate the AFC South. If they don't, it's going to be very disappointing. Last but not least, Ravens over the Saints. Everyone saw it coming a mile away. Lamar Jackson did his thing. Lamar Jackson is in the MVP talks as well. There are a good handful of players in the MVP talks right now. It's like Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, Tua. That's pretty crazy. Like, I'd say Tyreek Hill is probably offensive player of the year, but we'll get to those. We're not going to do midseason awards right now, but maybe something fun to talk about and go over. But Tonight's game, which is starting in about 45 minutes. I'm probably only gonna watch glance at the game because I'm playing the new God of War Ragnarok right now. I want to try to get more farther in that. So as of right now, I'm gonna pick the Falcons to win. I just think they're a better team than the Panthers. I think Sam Darnold is off the injury list, but he's probably not starting. I think it's PJ Walker still starting. So yeah, regardless of who's starting at quarterback, Atlanta's still gonna win. And here is the 9:30 a.m. game on NFL Network in Germany. Bucks and Seahawks. That's a tough one because the Bucks are playing. They can hold their opponents, but the Seahawks can score. The Seahawks are playing really good football. Um, as of right now, I'm gonna go with the Seahawks, but it's gonna be. I would say I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think the Seahawks are gonna beat the Bucks. They'll be 7-3. I wouldn't be shocked if Tom Brady if the Bucks win, but yeah, I'm just gonna go with the Seahawks for right now because they're playing better football. If the Bucks can stop Kenneth Walker from running the football, they still have to stop DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett, and Gino is and the Seahawks offensive line is much better than it was in years past. He's playing a really great football, so. For those reasons, I'm going to go with Seattle. Vikings on the road at Bills. This is a really good game. This is going to be probably the best game of the weekend. It's tough to say because I would have said the Bills definitely if Josh Allen didn't get hurt, but now he's hurt. They need to rely on the running game. All the running backs got to step up. All the other players need to step up. But I don't know if they are at home. I might give them the home field advantage, but it's really tough because of Josh Allen's injury. We don't know how much it's going to affect his throwing arm. So I guess because of my hesitancy to pick of Josh Allen's injury, I'm going to pick the Vikings on the road to beat the Bills. It hurts to say that, but it is what it is. And then this week, Lions at Bears. I'm going with Chicago at home. I think Justin Fields. Lions defense sucks, even though they beat the Packers. But Justin Fields is going to run all over that Lions defense. He's going to have 200 passing yards and 200 rushing yards and have 2 touchdowns each. It's going to be crazy. Justin Fields is going to go off against the Lions. Jags at Chiefs. Chiefs in an easy win. Sorry, Jags. It's unfair. It's really unfair of them to put you against the Chiefs like this, but yeah, Chiefs are going to win at home. Browns at Dolphins. I'm going to go Dolphins at home. Yes, Cleveland's a talented team, but Dolphins are more talented. Dolphins are better at every position. Better at quarterback. Better at running. Oh, I say running back. I say Browns are better at running back, but receivers, Dolphins are better. Weapons are better. Line, I would say Cleveland, but Dolphins all has been playing well this year, so let's call it a draw. So Dolphins have better offensive players, and yeah, I'm just gonna go with Miami in this one. Texans at Giants, dude. Giants are gonna crush the Texans. I hate to say it. I hope the Texans upset, but it's not gonna. I know it's not gonna happen, but yeah, Giants are gonna win for sure. 2 crappy teams. Saints at Steelers. Oh god, it's gonna be a really shitty football game. I trust Andy Dalton or Jameis, whoever's starting, Andy Dalton or Jameis Winston over the Steelers quarterback. So, Saints, just because of that. Broncos at Titans. They haven't really struggled on offense lately, but the Broncos defense is really good. But the Broncos offense is struggling. So, I'll still go with Titans at home, but this is gonna be a pretty close game. It's gonna be like last week for them. It's gonna be I'm gonna say Titans win 20-17. And then this hilarious ass game. Colts 3-5-1 are at the Vegas Raiders, who are 2-6. 2 bad teams struggling right now. Jeff Saturday's first game as the interim head coach. If Jeff Saturday comes in and beats Vegas, I think the Raiders are gonna fire Josh McDaniels on the spot. If the Raiders lose to Jeff Saturday, it'll be the funniest shit ever. But still, he would need to go because he's bad. Fuck that. Cowboys at Packers. I hate to say it, but I hate saying I hate picking the Cowboys to win, but they're gonna win just because the Packers are not playing good football. Offensively, the only players that are going for them are the running backs, and that's not enough in today's NFL. You need you need great receiver weapons as well, and Aaron Rodgers is not having his best year. So, hate saying Cowboys over Packers, but Cowboys over Packers. Cardinals at Rams. Rams easily. Aaron Donald's going to dominate again, and depending on, I don't know if Matthew Stafford's going to pass concussion protocol, but they should do. I think either way, even if he doesn't, I think the Rams are still going to win at home. Chargers at Niners. Shit, I'm sorry. Let's see, I don't know. Justin Herbert's struggling a little bit. Like, he doesn't have any weapons, and the Niners they lost another corner to Achilles injury. So, let's see. I don't know. It's a tough one. I'm gonna go. I mean, Herbert's the better quarterback, obviously, but the Chargers are just injured on offense. Austin Eckler's the only good player, but San Fran is I'm gonna pick San Fran at home just because they're at home. I'm gonna pick San Fran. Like, it's gonna be a close game. And last but not least, Commanders at my Eagles. Shouldn't be said. Eagles are gonna win. I'm not gonna. It's gonna be. I think it's going to be pretty close for a while. I think it's going to be close for like the first half, but I think they're just going to pull away in the second half. Either second quarter, they're going to just score like 3 touchdowns and it's going to be like nothing, or it's going to be like last week where we were rusty a little bit, tied at half, and then we just get out the gates and just kick their ass. So, yeah, that was this week for this episode. Now I'm going to go play more God of War Ragnarok. Fuck yeah, dude. Go get a PS5 and go buy God of War Ragnarok. It's beautiful. I'm only 2.5 hours in, but the game is amazing so far. So, go get it right now.